And hello, everybody. It's Tom Chenault and Adrian Chenault, and it is the Legacy Leadership Show. Just another edition. And I saw something this morning that was unbelievable. We are in the top 1% of all podcasts out there. Do you know why?
Why?
Because we've been around for so long.
That's true.
By virtue of all the shows, not how many people watch it. And by the way, if you wonder how many people watch the show, it is unbelievable. I just want to tell you that. Now, that could be unbelievably good or it could be unbelievably bad, but unbelievable it is. How you doing, Adrian?
I am great. I'm so happy to have one of my favorite people on the show today, and we're going to have a fun time, aren't we?
So I'm in a hotel in Dallas, and I'm sitting with a stuffy man from, I don't remember where he was from. I think he was, it was my friend Guy, who was like a bodyguard down in Brazil. And all of a sudden, I heard a laugh about 100 yards from me. And I look over and I said, that could only be Al Bala. And he is interviewing a comedian Uber driver and roaring with laughter. And it was the cutest thing because Al Bala looked like he was 10 years old because he lives his life like that. Everything he does is completely powerful, joyous, integrous. I just love him to death. Don't you?
I could not agree more. And he's just the best.
So then the next day, and we have an interview. Al will get to talk in 3 or 4 hours. So then I asked the guy for his phone number. So Al sends me his phone number, and nobody ever gives away their prospects or their candidates, but Al Bala. So the next thing I know, I'm on a text thread. And for 3 days straight, I get to watch vicariously Al Bala communicate with a complete stranger and work very, very hard to change his life. I just love this guy. Take that to the bank. Back to you.
Yeah.
Motivation equation, man.
That's so great. It's so great. I couldn't agree more. And Al, I think we should let him talk. What do you think?
Put him in.
All right. Al, welcome back to the show. One of my favorite people. What's going on with you?
Well, I am right now in Guadalajara, Mexico. I am very active in this area and helping my company really maximize the opportunity here in Mexico. And was in Mexico City last Saturday. We had over 500 people there, and it was just amazing. Wow. You talk about watching lives be changed. In a place like Mexico, where people have come from just absolutely nothing to achieving some great success. It just reminded me of the amazing opportunity that we have, to change people's lives, and do it in a global fashion, which brings me right back to the original promise of this industry for me, which I thought was one day to travel the world visiting my businesses and get to still do it 45 years later is just amazing. I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. You are my favorite people as well. Tom, you
and I have had a lot of laughs together all over the world.
True.
And it's so cool. And what I love about you is you're a lot of fun. You've never turned down a meal in your life. And what's so beautiful about that is you always pay, which is even more exciting and wonderful. And just and we totally put you in the popcorn popper that one day because you were standing in the line. There was a huge line. So I yelled very loudly, "You got to buy me something else." So Al turns around, takes our order. We circumvented everybody and he had to pay and never even blinked an eye. I love him. I say it again. You got to hang out with him.
It's so true. So Al, that's so awesome that you got to be down in Mexico City doing this big launch. And I want to go back to, for first of all, did you say 45 years in the profession?
45 years. November 1980 was when I went to see the plan.
Wow. And so you talked about, that those eyes that you looked at this business through for the first time and thinking about getting to travel the world, getting to go and have an impact all over the world. And that's exactly what you've done. And what has it been about network marketing that has held your heart for such a long time? Because not a lot of people stick with anything for that long anymore.
That's true. Well, I can say that about you guys as well. So we're in that kind of company where I think what the eyes I see it through, network marketing for me is really a platform for any human being to achieve what is the greatest need that we have as human beings, which is to self-actualize. If you think about Maslow hierarchy of needs, right? At the very top, it's about self-actualization. And for me, self-actualization means that because I lived, other people get to have a better life. Because I think that's also where the true definition of success is. How many people are better off because you lived. And nothing gives us such a platform like network marketing to achieve that ultimate goal that every single human being on earth really wants to be able to do. So that's what network marketing means for me. I see it through those eyes, outside of being a distribution channel, outside of being a place where innovation has happened over the last 100 years and all the amazing things that we know we do in this industry. But for me, at an individual level, is just how do you live an extraordinary life through this platform, and like nothing else can pretty much give you that kind of an opportunity.
I think that's so cool. And from all backgrounds, right? How many countries would you guess you have visited as a network marketing leader?
Well, I'm not going to guess because I actually sat down and said, okay, you know what? I have to figure out what that is.
That's awesome. All right, good.
Oh,
65.
All right. 65 is actually the number of new markets that I launched.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I was part of a launch. I was part of the team that launched them, but I actually visited 88 countries and over 500 major cities throughout the world. So
88 countries. There's not a lot of people in this world that have been to 88 countries. I thought for sure when you said 65, I was like, okay, the elevator goes down, not up. Holy,
yeah,
that's a number.
And let me ask you a question in regard to that, because I'm always hearing, well, those people in Russia are bad, and those people in North Korea are bad, and those people in Vietnam are bad, and those people in Africa are bad. It's not the people, it's the governments that are bad. And the people, every time I've gotten anywhere, the people are so doggone nice. And all I do is regret that I didn't go there sooner. How about you?
Absolutely. I think, the thing you figure out after, 45 years in 88 countries is that we're all different and yet we're all the same. I've had the greatest joy of just landing in any of these countries with this idea of free enterprise, right? And realizing that all these people have the same dreams. They have the same aspirations. They want to do nice things for their kids. They want to do nice things for their families, for their mom and dad. They want to have friends. They want to be part of a community. They want to be loved. They want to be appreciated. They have that thing that says, please, see me. They all have amazing stories to tell. So yeah, I agree with you. It's it only sounds bad, I guess, on television when they're giving you the news, and again, it's because I guess the politics of it, the governments, but the people themselves are amazing. And they all want to love one another if they can, if they're not being brainwashed to actually have some kind of a hatred for one another. But otherwise, everybody wants to be loved and they want to love.
So all of you, the markets in the world for network marketing versus the market in the United States. You're down in Guadalajara, Mexico right now. But wherever you go, I mean, outside of the United States of America, network marketing is exploding, correct?
Absolutely. Well, I think that especially now, think about the tools that we have now. Think about if you're sitting in Mexico City or in Colombia or in El Salvador, where I was a couple of weeks ago. And imagine you had the opportunity to live in your own country experience the lifestyle of that country and be a part of your own community, but having a tool that allows you to create income in all these other countries,
No kidding.
right?
It's such a gift.
Unbelievable.
It's amazing.
Okay, so I figured something out, and I have to share it.
What?
So I always call Al GQ because he's always so dapper, like he's just the best dressed guy on the planet.
Correct.
But I figured out who he is.
Oh,
He's the Stanley Tucci of network marketing.
oh, there's no question.
He's just like the most handsome, snappy dressing, well-loved, well-spoken, well-traveled guy who goes all over the world, and everybody loves him.
Everybody loves him, and everybody gives him things, and he knows where all the great tailors are. And yeah, this is an amazing human being.
You guys are just very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But today, I have to say, today, Tom is the GQ. Come on.
Look at this.
Tom is the GQ today. Love that
This
jacket.
is the first time Tom has ever worn something white that was fully clean by the time you saw him.
I never wear white because it's usually got like 6 lattes on it or something. So this baby was given to me by Michelle Griot, believe it or not. She got it, and it was way too big too small for Michelle. So she's quite a large woman.
Oh.
So she gave her, I'm trying to make a joke out of it. So anyway, she gave it to me because she was swimming in it. And now I look like Suave Bola. So that's very, very, very cool. And I'm happy. I look like Al Bala. So
I know it. You guys are the best.
So here's another thing, you guys, oh my gosh, Jonna Jones, I love her. She's a world traveler too.
She is.
And her husband, Benjamin, good God, if you don't know him, you need to. But at the end of the day, I was thinking about something and I lost my train of thought. Oh, promotion of the show. So all these hot shots, I mean, I'm telling you what, and I should call them all out. I tell them to promote the show and none of them do it. You know, they think they're doing me this great favor to be on this show and that I should actually be paying them. And I go, Al Bala probably didn't promote the show either. So I go look at his Facebook wall because I want to read all the comments about his great book, The Motivation Equation, so I can actually have a little knowledge. I read the book, but I wanted to see what people thought. His cover photo was the show.
Oh,
swear to God. I love this guy more every day.
That is so cool. And so I want to hear all about this. So I noticed you got a new tagline. You got some new stuff going on, and I want to hear about it. So the motivation guy, tell me about that, Al.
All right. Well, it is actually, I have to say, it's the brainchild of my mentor, Mr. Tony Giri. I was at his studio a year and a half ago, and I was just kind of stepping into my semi-retirement, which I want to let everybody know that the rumors of that have been highly exaggerated. I've probably been more busy than I've been even a few years ago. And we were just thinking about what do I want the rest of my life to look like? And I do remember, I was just remembering a conversation I had just had with a board member at Mannatech, and he just said, "You are Mr. Inspiration." So we went from Mr. Inspiration to the motivation guy, and obviously, we'll talk about the book a little bit, but my other mentor, who's Bill Britt, was really, really big in talking about motivation as being the ultimate thing that all of us as leaders do, and so that became the motivation guy, and obviously the motivation equation is the book that came out of that.
That's so cool.
It truly is. It is amazing. The book is amazing. It's about your experience, and it brings people back to the forefront of this business. Dan McCormick's on here. I just saw him. He's an icon. And what is so beautiful about that is you're taking people back to basics, and that's what we need to go back to. I want to talk about something because I have been around you for a long time. And on the corporate side of your job, you were the guy that everybody shot every day. You had massive personnel problems. And what I love about you now is you've been able to turn yourself, like me, into a massive personnel problem. And so you're not worried about them anymore. They're just worried about keeping you happy. And that you can't believe the just that unbridled laughter at that coffee shop in Dallas. That wasn't the stress of everything that could possibly go wrong corporately at your company. That was you sitting with a great guy talking comedy, talking Uber, talking network marketing, and listening to the guy's goals, which I watched you interview him. You talked about his goals and you kept going back to how you're going to fund this, which was your business. You are my idol, sir, and it's unbelievable.
Well, I have to say it's fun to not have any personnel problem, although we all know problems will be with us. I mean, that's part of life. But I'm also obviously very supportive of my new CEO, Mr. Landon Frederick. So I live vicariously through him, and I do feel some of the pain that he has to go through sometimes. But, at the end of the day, it's still a very rewarding job to know that you can have an impact in the lives of, everybody, including your employees. And yeah, there are some problems out there, but usually like today, just you get the news, somebody just became a presidential director, and it just reminds you why we do this, whether you're on the corporate side, on the field side, is that other people are achieving amazing success because we are here, because we're here on the corporate side, we're doing the things we do, or we're on the field side supporting and empowering these people to do what they do. So yeah, it's got its downside, but the upside is so much bigger than the downside. So I totally enjoyed being a CEO. I enjoy being the helper to the CEO as well. And it works out pretty well. So
here's the deal. You just said something about the guy that just broke presidential. The great Rob Sperry this morning posted something about recognition and whose job it is. Is it the company's job? No. Yeah. Is it the leader's job? Yeah. Is it the downline's job? Yeah. Everybody, if we can just focus on everybody winning from the brand new person all the way through that presidential, it is the name of the game, isn't it, Al?
It definitely is. I mean, look, this wouldn't be worth it if that's not what we were doing. Everything we go through, it's almost like you forget all the troubles when you watch that new person walk the stage, and you're looking in the audience and you're seeing the kids so proud of mom or dad, the family, and you realize that they're at the pinnacle of happiness at that moment because achievement is just it's a God-given right for every human being to have, and we don't get enough of that. We don't get in it, certainly in a 9-to-5 job. So we get to be part of a community, of an industry, of a model, of a channel that really imparts so much recognition and make people feel happy and proud because they've achieved something. So those are things that I never take for granted. I'm humbled every time I'm there to participate and be part of that happiness, that joy, that excitement, that celebration of people achieving. And so that's really the fuel, right? That keeps us going. And 45 years later, I never get tired of that. I watched it again this past Saturday, and man, it's like I was right back to my day one and ready to be there another 45 days if God would give me that to continue to see and watch these kinds of things happen. So
yeah. I'm reading one of my subscriptions, which is the Hindustan Times. Thank you.
Okay.
And the chairman of the Hindustan Times, there's a guy out there that has a big company, obviously, wherever that is the CEO of the AI startup Greptile. His name is Dakush Gupta, right? And he said this because the kids wonder how to be successful in the world of AI. And here's the job description of the kids in the world of AI. The current vibe is no drinking, no drugs, 9-9-6, which is work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. Welcome to Adrian's world. And lift heavy, run far, marry early, track sleep, eat steak and eggs. That's what you and I do. We are like the Hindu guy, Al. That's what this business is, network marketing. You want to make $1 million a year, you better have $1 million a year work ethic. But somehow in network marketing, especially in almost everything in the United States of America, we figured out how to have a 4-hour work week. I'm telling you, it just doesn't hold true. What do you think?
No, again, it's what kind of work is it though, right? I mean, there's a kind of work that fills you, right? And I think that's in network marketing. I think that's what we get. We can work 9 to 12 hours a day and not feel tired because we're doing something of value. We're doing something of significance.
Yeah.
I think the kind of work that will tire you is when you feel like you wonder, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what is going to be the impact of what I do? And I don't think there could be anything worse to do than not feel like what I did today made no difference whatsoever.
Correct.
So I think if we're doing what we love, right, and we're working within our purpose, then 9 to 12 hours a day doesn't feel like 9 to 12 hours a day. You wish you had more hours in the day to do what you do because it fulfills you. Does that make sense? I hope I'm answering your question,
100%.
Tom, because that's the difference between what we do every day versus what the rest of the world does if they're not involved in the type of in the same activities that we are in. So we have worked hard, and that work ethic has been minimized lately. Everybody's trying to find the shortcut. I think post-COVID, we have a lot of catching up to do because we got used to doing things a certain way, but now we got to pivot and do it differently, the way we've always done it. Because if we go back to those early days, Tom, I remember what it's like to run a business like we were running it without computers, basically just a phone, running around, moving products around from home to home, picking up from here, dropping over there, and so on. And life has become so much easier for network marketers, but it doesn't stop what you and I know is necessary, which is still, you got to hustle. You have to be there for the people. You have to travel when you need to. You have to do the things you don't want to do sometimes, but the reward is definitely worth it. And that's where I guess our consolation is that we get to have those amazing days that become, unreplaceable. I mean, they become something you can't even place a dollar amount to because they're just amazing experiences.
There's a myth.
You've had him. I've had.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. You said you have enough of.
No. I said you've had those days. I've had those days where it's just priceless.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, all of you, make this thing fun. Invent it to be fun, and it's going to be fun. Those little nerds out there working on that AI thing are in a bullpen working their heads off every day, staring at a screen, and they're calling it 996, and that's what they're doing. And that's exhausting, and that sucks their soul. This thing can be set up so it doesn't suck your soul. And one thing that there is a myth of network marketing that I talked about at the ANMP, and it is this, and don't believe this line right now. Do what you want to for a little while so you can do what you want to for the rest of your life. Do what you want to and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep making it fun. I pop out of bed every day. I love my job. I'm working with John Milton Fogg. I'm doing a big project with him, similar to what you did with Tony Jerry. I want to have the greatest life and make the greatest difference doing what I want so I can show other complete and total dead drunk in the gutter losers that there is hope, because that's what I was. Nobody. I'm 74 years old. It's been 54 years since somebody looked at my report card. And the only reason I've been this successful is because I've got up every day and did not believe what people were saying about me. Right? Or wrong? Or did you fall asleep?
Might have frozen.
Are you frozen? That's so amazing. Well, that was a good rant.
No, I think my internet here is going on and on. So I'm hearing most of what you're saying, but I could. So forgive me for the lack of reaction. I'm trying to track with where the internet is going right now. So I hope you guys can still hear me.
We can.
But for a minute there, I think the Mexican internet was failing me here.
It's all good, and I think that that's so true, to be able to invent a life that includes a lot of hard work, because you're inventing a life that wants to look a certain way, and if you want it to look that way, it's got to include hard work, but do it in create the thing that you actually want. And network marketing is one of the very few professions that allows you to do that. But there's some self-mastery required to do that. There's some personal development required to do that. And a big part of it is, ready for the segue?
Yeah.
Motivation. So we got to think about that, and we got to think about what it takes. And so I really do. I want to hear about the book. I want to hear about what you're doing there, Al, because you are somebody who embodies, I think, what so many of us aspire to, what so many of us want it to look like at the end of the rainbow when we're successful. And so what better way than to learn from somebody who has done what you want to do? And so talk about the book and what we can learn about motivation.
Well, first, let me talk about what inspired me to write the book, because I've been told for years, you should write a book. I had no intention of writing a book. I didn't want another book for shelf development unless I felt like the book was going to make a difference. So, but at one point it occurred to me that over the years I spent with my mentor, Mr. Bill Britt, who obviously demonstrated through the results that he had created in his life through network marketing, that he understood something about motivation. But it was the fact that every single opportunity he had, he would always talk to us about this, what I call today an equation. He didn't call it an equation, but he walked us through the concept of motivation. So I heard it so many times that I figured at some point it must be something important if that's what he wanted us to learn, right? So, and I realized that unless you were in that immediate vicinity and you could hear him and you were part of his organization, he never left any, he never wrote it down. He never wrote a book to talk about it. So I felt that that message needed to be passed on to the rest of the world, because if it was that important to him, it must have been important. So that's when I started going down that road. But I also realized that what I watched was the skill. I watched the art of motivation. And being an engineer, I wanted to get deeper into it a little bit to understand what is the science behind that. Mm-hmm. So from the observation of what Bill had done and the results he had through that, which is motivation is just the idea of getting people into action, getting people to do the things they don't want to do that will get them the life that they really want. Because between the where you are and what you want to be, there's a series of action that has to be taken. And a lot of those actions are not things we want to do, because if we really wanted to do it, we'd already be where we needed to be. So leaders, we come in and we interfere in the lives of others, right? Getting them to do the things they don't want to do, because we understand that that's what it's going to take to get what they really want. So that's the art. That's what I watched. But then, is there science to it? So I went back to 100, maybe thousands of years of what I would call the science of motivation, and then tried to bring it together so that it would be validated, that it wasn't just what we watch and what we observe, but that there was some validation to it. So we combined it together to be the art and science of getting people to take action. Because at the end of the day, that's what leadership is.
Mhm.
Right? Maxwell said leadership is influence. How do you get influence? Influence is getting people to do something.
Sure.
And sometimes, most of the time, is getting them to do something they don't want to do. Well, but if you can master that, then you will have influence. And if you have influence, you will be a leader. And if you are a leader, then your life will have had an impact in the lives of others, which at the end of the day goes back to the original premise I talked about earlier, which is we all want to be self-actualized. So we want to make sure that because we lived, people are better. But for people to be better, we have to be able to influence them to do the things they don't want to do in order to be better. So I hope I'm not speaking in circle, but that's the whole premise of that. So I had a lot of fun, obviously, going through that, researching that, realizing that obviously Bill's art had scientific validation to it, but also the art, also motivation is not just what I just described, but it's also understanding that everybody is motivated differently. So in the book, I really get into helping people understand that what motivates you does not automatically motivate everybody else.
Right.
If there's 4 quadrants, 4 different kinds of people, you are going to be obviously in one quadrant. There's 3 other quadrants. So the real art of motivation is, and something that Tom, you do amazingly, right, is understanding those people and what really motivates them that may be different than what motivates you, and go for that instead of try to motivate everybody the way you're motivated, because you're going to miss 3 out of 4 people every time.
Yeah.
You'll get the one that's like you, but you're going to miss the other 3 that are not like you. So the real professional leader is the person who understands that. So I was hoping I could at least get people going in that direction. I don't think that the book covers all of it, but at least it gives you the awareness that you gotta treat everybody based on who they are, not who you are.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I watched the clinic that you put on with the comedian Uber driver, and it was unbelievable. And so that made me think about Dexter Yeager, about Bill Britt, and about Bob Crisp. And I know how many people. Bob Crisp had 465,000 people in his Amway organization in the 70s. I hate to think about how many people Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager had. Yet those guys built that in a time and an age where there were no tools. It was just human beings.
Right.
And you look now at how hard that build was and how big they built it. And you have to ask yourself, was it easier then or tougher? And it would be easy to say it was tougher because of no tools. But maybe it was easy because we had to relate to the human being across the table. Maybe that's the magic that they had that's missing because it's gotten, believe it or not, too easy. What do you think about that?
Well, I think, by the way, before I get there, let me just say something about Bob Crisp, because I do mention him in my book. My very, very first event, Macon, Georgia, 2 months into the business, I drive 18 hours to Macon, Georgia from Boston. And who's on stage? Bob Crisp. Bob Crisp being recognized as triple diamond. And he did a speech called Visualize, Verbalize, Vitalize, which became one of my mottos as well in life. And so years later, I had to call him and say, you don't know who I am. I just want to tell you how much of an impact you had on me. And that was just literally right before he was on your show. And then eventually, I think, we lost him, and that was sad. But again, that was an interesting situation. But yes, working with people is never going to be easy, but it's going to be rewarding. And if I go back to those days, 19 years of every Tuesday night going to the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Never missed a Tuesday night. Rain, sleet, or snow, it didn't matter. You went and you brought people, and we did that. That was, today you can put 100 people in a Zoom call and do it from your home in your pajamas, but you had to get out. You had to go. You had to do it 5 nights a week. I mean, that was the motto, 5 nights a week. I mean, and nobody flinched at that. I used to stop by 3 or 4 or 5 gas stations on my way home because I had to get at least one new name every single day.
Oh.
Did that for 15 years, never missed. I couldn't go home unless I had a name. And if I had to pump gas 10 times, I pumped gas 10 times. I went to 10 different 7-Elevens on my way home just to make sure that I got somebody.
Yeah.
Now, it didn't mean I called them back. It just, I had to be in that habit of doing that. That kind of work ethic, we don't have that anymore. We're trying to find the easy way to do it. And there are some easier way to do it. But at the end of the day, nothing is going to replace work ethic.
Yeah.
So here's the deal, everybody. And I'm going to give you my favorite trick of all time. An Uber driver, a DoorDash driver, a Lyft driver. These guys are entrepreneurs, and whatever they're doing in their life ain't working. So they're out there driving a car to make some walking around money to live another day in what they're doing. And they are searching for you. And you're standing there going, what? So if people want me to help them learn how to interview people, I make them come to my house or meet me at my office. And we get, Weisberg's on, please. One of these days he'll amount to something. But at the end of the day, we call Uber. So then we pile in the back seat and I interrogate the Uber driver in front of my friend. And every time we leave with a tremendous prospect and a story of a life of somebody that's just trying to make it. And the training is invaluable because it's about asking questions, not talking. And the Uber drivers, man, they all they do is they want to throw up on you with their story because they have no clue. And my whole goal in life is to teach the Uber drivers how to do what I do, which is interrogate people. But at the end of the day, Al, we have got a great opportunity here to bring network marketing back and get rid of all the noise. And don't take any offense to the AI, because the AI done right completely complements all of that. So it's beautiful. And that's what we need to do. And it's so exciting. And I'm more pumped up about network marketing personally than I've ever been. And I think you are too. And that's why these people all need to buy your book. God.
All right. So about that, just go on Amazon. You actually can put yourself on the list. The book officially will launch in October. I'm doing my DSU talk on the book, and then it will literally officially be for sale. Right now, it's been my greatest joy has been giving it to my friends and family, because that's what I've done.
You should see what he wrote in my book. It would make you cry. And it is a collector's item. As soon as he puts it out and they start shipping on Amazon, I will put it on eBay and sell it for $5,000 or so, and then talk him into giving me another one because I'm a capitalist. But I am telling you one thing right now, Al Bala has written a book for the ages, and you need to part with some of that money, Jeff Weisberg, and buy it. Right, Adrian?
100%. I'm just typing it in so
Good
you
to
can
see you, Jeff. All right.
It is such a joy having you on here. Oh, I forgot. The show is sponsored by NowSite, which is pretty doggone cool. And because of that, Al, you are the proud owner of whatever you want in the form of Love Like Crazy, Then Love More, or Fire Your Brain, Hire Your Heart, or for your beautiful wife, Johanna, because she's not here, but we love her, we're going to send 2 shirts, which we don't normally do. And she should truly get this one, which is Love Like Crazy, Then Love More in bright pink. I wear this all the time and people love it.
Him and her combination, because we all want to love more and then right. Okay. So yeah, thank you. That would be really, really appreciated. I'm sure she'll appreciate it. And we'll take a picture and we'll put it on social media, and
the rest will be history.
Yes, there you go.
So
that's so great.
Who's the guy next week? Adrian's got some really smart guy. I have no clue as to. The guy sent the book.
This is cool, actually. So the guy next week is a guy named Joe Davis, and he's got a book called The Generous Leader, and he was like the chairman or something of Boston Consulting Group.
Wow.
And he wrote this book saying, I've consulted all over the world, I've done all this stuff, and at the end of the day, human beings, relationships, empathy is the only thing that matters. And so talk about just a totally, the validating exactly everything you're talking about from a completely different vantage point is really cool.
And it came out of nowhere. And what's so beautiful about it is, there is such a problem out there in corporate America because AI is just decimating these people, and they need the credibility of a guy like that to understand the way that you become recession proof, AI proof, everything else is to become heart-centered, community and communication. And that's all it boils down to. Al Bala, we love you with all of our heart.
Absolutely.
Love you both.
And I now know why Michelle gave me this dang sweatshirt. This thing, I feel, how that have you ever been to a Boston market, Al?
Yeah.
Okay, they got that rotisserie chicken, and it's just, I feel like that chicken. I am sweating so much. It's unbelievable. This thing doesn't breathe. That's why Michelle gave it to me. It's
Michael.
We love you.
Yes, from Guadalajara. So yes, Michael, good to see you, buddy.
Oh my God, Fede! Oh, look at him.
The best.
Michael Fede.
And we love his wife, and this guy loves Michael Singer. I don't know if you've sat down and talked to him about the surrender experiment and the untethered soul and all the things that Fede does in his solar company, and he's just a beast. We love you, man. Thank you.
Al, thank you. Go to alfredobala.com, grab your book. You will not regret it. Al, thanks again, man. We'll see you soon.
Go on Amazon and just
punch it in.
We got you.
Perfect.
We'll make sure to get the book to you when it's ready. So guys, thank you. Appreciate it. It was been fun talking. Time flies. It's been too short. So
amen.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you soon, and love you guys. Thank you for the shirts. Love it.
All right. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.